Oh my God. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my live on YouTube to talk all about the Bachelor finale. So excited you guys are here. It looks like we already have a few people listening. So I'm hoping a bunch of you guys get in here and you can join the live chat and ask questions as we go through the Bachelor finale after the final rose, the next season of the Bachelorette. Lots of tea, lots of drama, lots of heartbreak to discuss. So we're going to get all into it. And even if you guys missed the live, you can still comment down below in the comment section. But I'm hoping a few of you guys join the live chat so that we can kind of talk as we are live. But I didn't really prepare too much for this or give you guys too much of a notice that we were going live at this time. So now I know for next time. But if you are joining, make sure to say hello. I'm going to say hi right now, just to get the live chat going. The Bachelor finale, I mean, last night really was a lot. It was a lot of like heartbreak and like sadness and like anger, but then it was also a lot of like happiness. And I feel like at the end of the live, after the final rose, at the end of the episode, everybody won. Like literally, it was a happy ending for everybody, including me, because I got a bunch of really good TikToks. So I mean, like, we all are winning here. I mean, to kind of start things off with Susie. Hey, Teresa, we got our first live chat. What's up, girl? To kind of start things off, it was really shocking when Susie walked in immediately to meet Clayton's parents because, give me a second. Because Jesse just told Clayton that like she was in Iceland and that he wanted to talk to her. And like I thought it was gonna be like a couple like hours or something, or maybe like the next day they were gonna set it up. And then Susie just like walks in and meets Clayton's parents really quickly. I wonder if she got to talk to Clayton's parents for longer, or if like she immediately just kind of brought Clayton outside and they talked on the bench, because it just happened so suddenly. And when Clayton talked to Susie, if you guys did not watch, he was really pleading for her and basically told her that like she is everything, and that the reason he got so angry with her and so upset with her is because he was afraid of losing everything. And a lot of people have been, very upset with Clayton for the way he lashed out at Susie. I think it was totally too much. It was uncalled for. It was rude. It was like aggressive. However, I feel like we also need to see it from his point of view. So like, let me play devil's advocate here for a second. You have producers manipulating you. You already had girls manipulate you. If it's true that, which is what I heard if you watch my TikTok, that the producers told Clayton that Susie was, trying to become the next Bachelorette and that she already signed a contract, in Clayton's mind, he feels deceived by Susie. So he lashed out at her. And then the next day or the couple days later, he realizes he's still in love with her. So now he's trying to win her back. I mean, what a crazy experiment being on this show. It really kind of takes away the layers of real life and real relationships. So I like to give grace to Clayton and Susie and everybody else who puts on this show, because there's just so much manipulation happening with the producers behind the scenes. So he lashed out at her, but he basically tells her that like he's going to break up with Gabby and Rachel. You are the one, you are everything. I will do whatever it takes to fight for you. And Susie, basically needs more time. So she hops in the car and she kind of goes back to her hotel room. Good move by Susie. Do not take him back immediately. Not after he threw you to the car like a stray dog, like she said. Ashley is in the live chat saying, what are your thoughts on Susie not really saying anything about Gabby and Rachel and what Clayton did to them? So we're going to get to that. I'm wondering if she did say something in one of the interviews. I'm going to look for it as I go through the rest of the interviews, like for the rest of the week, because, they're being interviewed by literally everyone everywhere. So I'm going to see if I can find that. I wish that Susie did say something on After the Final Rose, like, my heart, goes out to them or something. She did say something on Nick Vile's podcast this morning where, she's so happy that Gabby and Rachel are the Bachelorette. So she is excited for them and she's happy that they won and they're getting their happy ending as well. It would have been nice if she said something on After the Final Rose, but I think that she was really just trying to focus on that moment about her and Clayton, because it's a 2-hour, live finale. They only had like 10, 12 minutes to kind of talk about their relationship. So it would have been nice if she said something, but I think she really just wanted to kind of claim her man in that moment and be like, this is my boyfriend. I'm sticking by him. You all might hate him. You guys might hate how we got together, but I'm going to stick by him. So I respect Susie for sticking by her man, because at the end of the day, like, you need to stick by the person that you are in a relationship with over like anyone else. But yes, I do agree, Ashley. She should have said something. Hey, WK, and hey, Melissa. How are you guys doing? If you're just joining, today's live. Feel free to ask your questions in the live chat, as I will be getting to all of them as we talk all about the Bachelor finale. And make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. But let's kind of continue here because, well, let me take a little bit of a sip of my apple juice. I love how I'm drinking apple juice throughout this, like seriously. So yeah. So what happens next is Clayton goes to break up with Gabby and with Rachel. The main issue here is that he breaks up with both of them together, and it's really giving deja vu to when he told both of them that he was in love with both of them, and that he was intimate with both of them, and that he loved Susie at the rose ceremony. He begged them to stay only to string them along. Now, Clayton's side of the story is that he was trying to make something work with them because he already thought it was over with Susie. So he was like, well, let me see if I can still fall in love, and it's meant to be with Gabby and Rachel, and everything happens for a reason, like he said. But at the end of the day, like what it looks like is that he was stringing them along, and he wanted to keep those options around. And I mean, maybe he did think Susie was gone, but it was just like your heart was already with Susie. So why did you have to put Gabby and Rachel through all of that? So he breaks up with them mutually. It's like, it's not a 2-on-1 date. It's not a group date. Like you didn't have the respect to break up with them, separately. If these relationships were so separate and you, what's that word again? Where he like you separate each relationship, compartmentalize. That's the word. So if he really compartmentalized these relationships, then it's like, why are you treating Gabby and Rachel like they were the same thing? So that was really frustrating. And Gabby was the one who called him out and held her ground. She immediately was like, this is BS. She ran down ran down to her hotel room, down the hall. Clayton chased her. Rachel was like crying, like on the couch. Like obviously Rachel, wanted to kind of give Gabby her moment so that she can talk to Clayton, then she can get it after. I loved everything Gabby said. I mean, she's so poised. She's so well-spoken. She called out Clayton. She stood up for herself in that moment. And she just like came out on top. Like Gabby is such a queen. And I'm so glad that they chose her to be one of the Bachelorettes because she literally is just everything. Emily in the live chat says, it really bothered me when Clayton said that he saw Rachel and Gabby consoling each other at the rose ceremony. And that's when he knew dumping them together was the best so that they can comfort each other. Ew, I do not like that either, Emily. So did he know at the rose ceremony he was going to dump both of them? Ew, I did not like that either at all. I mean, it kind of sounds like he made up his mind with Susie, and it seems like he loved Susie. He said he loved her the most, and when he sent her goodbye. So it's just like, it really is frustrating the way he handled it. But Gabby came out on top. She called him out. She really wanted to make it clear to him that she was most upset about the fact that he wasn't taking accountability or admitting that he was just so wrong and that he strung them along. I think that's what Gabby was really looking for. And Clayton still sticks to his story that like he was trying to make things work. He really did love them. But he also said now he's saying that he didn't actually love them. He just had love for them and was in love with them. And then looking back at it, he can only love one person. So it's such a messy situation. And clearly Clayton, doesn't have the experience, like Gabby said, in a relationship to know, because he hasn't been in a relationship in 5 years. And getting to Rachel, he told Rachel that he loved her. And this is the first girl he told that he loved in 6 years. Major, major coward. Also, I loved when Gabby was like, no, you can't walk me out. Iconic. So Clayton leaves Gabby's room like a coward, goes to talk to Rachel. Rachel was so heartbroken because I felt like Rachel and Clayton were endgame the entire time. Like I've been saying it for weeks. Rachel and Clayton have the strongest connection. I want Rachel to be with Clayton. Like I wanted the two of them to be together for so long. And I really thought that Rachel was going to win. I feel like she got the winner's edit. It was such a curveball for, how the ending all played out. Rachel was heartbroken. She gave him everything. She made it so clear that like, she was shocked that he was walking her out to the car. Like that was what was so upsetting for her. And she fought for him every step of the way. She stood at that rose ceremony while Gabby was ready to leave, while Susie already left. Like Rachel truly was the last one there and accepted Clayton and loved him, all for him to break up with her and feel no remorse. He didn't cry. He wasn't even phased. He was like walking her out. Rachel's scene was the saddest moment of the episode, of the whole season, probably one of the saddest breakups in Bachelor history. Like, hands down, sobbing. I was crying. If you saw my TikTok, my eyes were puffy. Like, it was so, so sad seeing Rachel so heartbroken. I just like put myself in her position and was crying with her. And like, I don't even have a boyfriend and I don't even have anyone that broke my heart. I've never been in a relationship over here, Zachary Reality. So I don't even know what that's like, but I just empathize with Rachel So hard. Um, what's good, Em? Yeah, if you guys are just joining, don't forget, ask some questions in the live chat. We're 10 minutes in. So Gabby and Rachel are also doing their after the final rose. They're kind of like compartmentalizing each segment. They're having Gabby's breakup, then she went on after the final rose. Loved seeing her grandfather. What an icon. Is he single? Like, let's make him the senior bachelor. I was really close with my grandfather as well before he passed away. So it was just like, I love seeing Gabby's relationship with her grandpa. Does anyone know his name? Because I like forgot his name. Hey, Angie D. What's up, girl? Anyway, Gabby, I mean, she had only 5 minutes. You know, it's a live show. She said what she had to say to Clayton. He apologized. When Rachel came out, it was so much more dramatic because not only were like the parents involved, and clearly Rachel's parents were so angry, but Rachel made it a point to say that she was so blindsided when Clayton dumped her that she never got to stand up for herself until that moment on After the Final Rose. And she let him have it. And she gave it to him as he deserved it. And when she said, did you only tell me you loved me because you wanted to sleep with me? That was her like letting him know. Like she needed to do that to stand up for herself because she never did it. She was so blindsided. And it was so heartbreaking to see her. Somebody brought up a good point to me. They said that Gabby, as an ICU nurse, like she's more used to like these crazy like environments. So maybe that's why Gabby was able to like hold herself together while Rachel was just so heartbroken. It was so interesting to see how the two of the girls handled the breakup so differently because they're two different women with two different, you know, connections with Clayton, and their love stories are different. So it was just interesting to see. I loved both of their, you know, reactions. They both were validated in their feelings. They both, you know, deserved to tell Clayton off. And it was just empowering. And it was so fun to see the two of them, their friendship bonding over the episode. And we're going to get to the Bachelorette announcement in just a few minutes. But we kind of have to talk about Clayton and Susie first and how he was able to win her back because she left him in Iceland. She said it was over. He had a ring. Was he going to propose? Maybe he would have if she was down, but she was very hesitant. He was feeling her out. And she basically said, I need to leave Iceland alone, single, goodbye. Crazy. This is the first time a bachelor has ever left the show rejected. So the last bachelor that left the show single was Brad Womack. His first season, like a decade ago, he broke up with both of his final two girls, and then he left the show single. And then they invited him back to be the bachelor like 3 years later, and then he got engaged, and then that didn't work out. So I was like, I can't believe Clayton's single. Anyway, my spoiler, which was on TikTok, was absolutely right. I got the tea. I knew that him and Susie got back together because I got a phone call with the tea, and I put it out there, and I was so glad that my spoiler was right because it made me look like a genius. So Susie ends up, you know, leaving Clayton in Iceland. She goes home. She says that she arrives in New Jersey, Newark, wherever. She calls her parents. The first thing she does is DM Clayton and say, I'm open to having a conversation with you. You want to talk about things. She gives him his number, and then he ends up calling her later that night. Susie says that the only reason she was looking for closure and a conversation without the producers, without the show, without the cameras, like just to talk to Clayton. And they ended up talking on the phone for hours. And then that never stopped as they talked every day the next few weeks. And it was only a matter of time before they reestablished their boundaries and decided to give their relationship another shot. And they have been going strong in their relationship privately for the past, 3-4 months. And you know what? I'm happy for them. I love a happy ending. We watch this show for many reasons, the drama, the competition, but the love. And like we have a happy ending for Clayton and Susie, but we also have a happy ending for Rachel and Gabby. So it's like everyone wins here. And I mean, still it's like F Clayton for being a jerk, but at the end of the day, like he is a good person. He was, you know, he wasn't the best bachelor, but he gave us such a good season. I mean, forget about like who's the best bachelor ever, like Sean Lowe, blah, blah, blah. Think about like who gives us the most dramatic train wreck of a season. Like that is what a good bachelor is sometimes. So props to Clayton for giving us this season and this train wreck because it really did end in a happy ending. So it's like, who can't be happy? Angie D says it was a great season. Exactly. Was a pretty good season overall. So Clayton and Susie, what they're doing next is they're doing a bunch of press and interviews right now. And then they are going to be moving to Virginia Beach, which is where Susie lives. Clayton lives in Arizona, which I believe he moved to like earlier this year, right before the season started. So he's going to be moving to Virginia. They're going to be moving in together. They said they're doing a cross-country road trip together to Arizona to get the rest of his stuff. That sounds like a lot of fun. They can just travel the world. Like now they have all this money and this fame, like just enjoy each other, travel the country, like cross country road trip sounds so fun. take 2 weeks to do it. They're gonna hit up all these fun stops, and then they're gonna get his stuff and move to Virginia. It seems like they're moving in together right away, which I don't think is a good idea. I think that Clayton should get his own apartment in Virginia. But I mean, it seems like they're moving in together. I don't know if they're going to get a new apartment together. Susie says, Susie has a lease in Virginia Beach till September. So is like Clayton going to move into her apartment? Seems a little clustered. I feel like Clayton just needs to get a big 3-bedroom apartment in Virginia for the both of them. And then she can kind of go back and forth until they're ready to move in together, because they've only been dating 3-4 months. And then they've known each other for what, 7 months? But then like those 3 months, he was dating other women. So it's just like a little premature to move in together. They have no plans to get engaged or married as of now. They're going to take their time and they're going to do that proposal whenever they're ready. Good for them. I really wish them the best. I hope that they last. I'm going to remain optimistic. It seems like they really do fit well together. I mean, I know he had the strongest connection with Rachel, but like the way they're acting, I mean, they're in love, they're happy. I don't think it's for show. I don't think it's for PR. I really think that they're happy, and I really think they're going to make it work for as long as they can. And I wish them a lifetime of happiness. Okay, so cheers with my apple juice to Clayton and Susie. I think it's like Clacy is their hashtag name or something. So now on to the next announcement of the next Bachelorette, which I called as well. Gabby and Rachel, 2 Bachelorettes, 1 season. Basically, Jesse Palmer kind of said he doesn't know how it's going to work, but there's going to be 30 men, which means they are going to be dating the same guys. So think of Joe Millionaire, think of Double Shot at Love. They're going to be dating the same guys. Some of the guys are going to be into Gabby. Some of the guys are going to be into Rachel. Some of the guys are going to be into both of them and are going to be dating both of them. And it's possible that they fall in love with the same guy. It's possible that Gabby's into a guy that's only into Rachel. Like, it's going to get a little messy, but at least that they have each other and they have their friendship and sisterhood where hopefully they're able to stay close the entire season. I know a lot of people are like, they better, the producers better not ruin their friendship. Listen, I don't want their friendship being ruined, but I wouldn't mind it being tested. I think it would be good drama and good TV if they liked the same guy and the guy had to choose, or it just got messy. Like, I want to see mess. I want to see mess. We have a new comment from Bon Blue. I am so happy that it all ended so nicely, and kudos to Clayton for sticking up for his feelings for Susie, although no kudos for how he handled Gabby and Rachel. Agreed, period. Emily says, I think Susie is so in love with him that she is blinded by all the red flags, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I've seen this complaint a lot with Susie and Clayton. I mean, I feel like if they reestablish their boundaries and they're dating in real life on their own terms, let's let them do that. Forget about the show where it's manipulated, there's pressure, there's all these other factors. Now they're just dating in the real world. So as long as that's going good, let them kind of do their own thing. But back to the Bachelorette, I love this idea. I think it's genius. I think it's better than giving us, the Britt and Kaylin situation where the guys have to vote on night 1, or the Michelle and Katie situation where we need 2 full seasons. No. This is perfect. Like, this is going to be so, so exciting. It's going to be so good. Like, I'm going to hype it up because I genuinely think it's going to be prime television. And I'm excited to see how it all, plays out. And they are starting to film The Bachelorette this weekend. So over the next few days, Rachel and Gabby are going to be booked, busy doing interviews, promo shoots. I'm going to be covering, some of the spoilers throughout the season. I'm going to find out filming updates, and I will let you guys know on TikTok, on Instagram. You guys know where to find me at Zachary Reality on all platforms, because I am invested and I am intrigued, and I will give spoiler warnings if I give spoilers, but I will definitely be following along because they're starting to film and it's going to be so fun. And I really feel like Gabby and Rachel didn't know that they were going to be chosen. I feel like they were told one of them were going to be chosen. Clearly they already signed a contract before, but like they were genuinely surprised and happy when they were both chosen. So crazy, good for them. The season will premiere July 11th, which is a little bit later than we're used to. Usually The Bachelor premieres mid-June, The Bachelorette, or sometimes May back in the day, but then they pushed it to June. Now, a lot of us are concerned, where is Bachelor in Paradise? How are they going to fit that in? Because if The Bachelorette is airing in July, it's probably going to go until September because it's like 2.5 months. When are they going to air Paradise? It's a summer show. They're going to air it in October, November. Is this fall Paradise? Like, a little confusing. What they could do is they could take the 2 months or the 6 weeks it takes to film The Bachelorette and then film Paradise right after. That is possible because I know that they have asked people to go on Paradise already. They've already sent out the invitations to see who's down to go. And I don't know. It's possible Paradise is canceled this year. I did get that DM, which I shared on my TikTok, that they might not be doing Paradise this year. And if they don't do Paradise, it doesn't mean that they won't do another spinoff show. They could do another type of Winter Games or at a competition show. I mean, we have so many favorites from Katie's season, from Michelle's season, from Clayton's season, from, Rachel and Gabby's season. There's going to be new guys. So it's like there's a lot of people we want to see dating, intermingling. So I hope they do some type of spinoff show. And when I get the updates, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But it's not looking good for Paradise this summer. I don't know. The audience with Genevieve and Aaron. I mean, clearly The Bachelor is just so smart for putting them in the audience right behind Jesse. I would love to see them in Paradise as well. Seeing Shanae and Demi next to each other, so funny. We love the villain energy. Demi put on her Instagram that like she didn't even know she was sitting next to Demi or Shanae and then whatever. And was just like, oh my God. But we live for the villain crossover. And I mean, overall, it was just a really good episode. Like, it was such a good finale. Like, literally everyone won. Everybody won. Like, a happy ending. So honestly, all that hype that the Bachelor alumni were giving to this finale, hype. Like, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm so happy with the ending. And I just love The Bachelor. What can I say? Just love the show. So while we're on a hiatus from The Bachelor, I will still be covering all things Bachelor Nation news, on my TikTok and Instagram. And I will also be covering other reality shows. So there's some new reality shows coming to Netflix. I'm going to be catching up on Survivor, Siesta Key. Any other shows you guys have in mind that you want me to cover, just leave them in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts of the Bachelor finale. We're going to wrap this up, and be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Subscribe to my channel. Everything is at Zachary Reality. Thank you guys for hopping on this live feed with me, to the 20 of you guys that are here. And if you are watching after the live because you missed it, just comment down below. Let me know you listen. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have any other questions, I will always be able to answer those on TikTok. And yeah, have a nice day, guys. Enjoy, and see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.